Тим, ну ты же поел уже вкусно. Все, иди. Что? Кокойо?
Кокойо?
Ну что, Сима? Здорово, 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 здорово. Всем привет. Ой. Скидываться в общак не забываем, да-да-да. Огоньки сами себя не нафармят, это правда, это правда. Здорово, ребят, здорово. Как ваш вечер? Почти левел. Итак, что мы выяснили? А точно, да. Что мы выяснили по комментариям Ютубунити? Что мы все делаем не так, что все плохо, все очень неправильно, но что правильно? Нам хую. Бля. Слушай, может реально его оттуда одного перевести? Давай-ка попробуем одного перевести. Потому что оно докатывается до 84 и сбрасывается. Буква Ю, правильно, чатик. Похую. Неправильно играешь. Знаю, спасибо. Я стараюсь. Я стараюсь. Так. Свет моего окна для меня погас. Парам-пам-пам-пам. Дядя. Давай-ка ты, поселенец. Ее с контекстного меню можно в другое поселение переначить или нет? Переселить. Да, иди в санктуаре. Идешь? Да, людей один. Матрас разобрать. Все. 3 воды. Слушай, будем надеяться, что ему всего хватит. Но ему одному должно всего хватать. Защита 5, место дно. Будем надеяться. Будем надеяться. Попробуем, на самом деле. Если нет, мы ее всегда сможем вернуть. Не для моего окна, а от твоего окна для меня погас. Нет. Это тебе так кажется. Куча всякого говна. Куча всякого говна. Это не страшно, конечно. Это не страшно. Мне просто искренне, и я вам говорю, мне искренне сейчас не хочется сидеть на базе, крафтить оружие, крафтить всякое дерьмо, просто потому что оно будет в скрытности выдавать больше урона. Ну, блядь. У нас из скрытности получается работать, ну, боже, ну... кстати, да, кто-то посмотрел, как и где брать эти... Где какие штучки надо брать в институте? Конечно же, нет, потому что я не думала, что чат выберет, сука, фолыч. Чат молодец. Вчера вышел новый Страдивари. Мы что, правильно? Идем в фолыч, потому что чат хочет неправильно играть в фолыч. Так, оп. Ага. Да.
Let's do this. All right. Head up onto the platform and we'll see if I can find a signal to lock onto.
Refrain from opening fire inside the institute.
You have to be on the
It could
platform.
jeopardize our
Let's see. Relays dialed in. Beam emitters.
Ну, Стардис сломан.
Everything looks green.
Но я же сказала, что я только 3 мода не смогла вставить из
I'm
всех.
inputting the code now. Wow, there's a heck of a lot of interference and ghosting. It's gonna
Dr.
take
Lee
a
is a
minute or two to
valuable
lock
asset.
in. By the
If any
way,
harm
this
comes
little
to
trip you're taking is a
I'm
heck of
holding
an
you personally
opportunity to
responsible.
find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. I put a clever little program on this holotape that'll scan their network and download anything it finds. If you place it in any terminal down there, it'll do the rest.
Я не сказала, что я без них играю. Да,
Да,
блядь, ну прекратите все говорить, ну ёб твою мать.
Looks like we have a winner. RF wave capture complete. Ramping the emitter. 60%, 80%. Emitter spiking but steady. All that's left is to throw the transmit switch.
Refrain from
Transmitting
opening
in
fire
3,
inside the
2,
Institute.
1.
It could jeopardize our
Stay
entire
safe,
mission.
soldier.
Из, я не знаю, модов 20, с 15 до 20 я не смогла разобраться только с 3, просто потому что они не работают на данной версии. Они обновились для версии 1.6, но SMAPI не рассматривает их, как будто они обновились. И я не знаю, поставить его... Я попробовала поставить из официального источника, он не хочет его подсасывать. Я попробовала поставить не из официального источника, он жалуется на то, что мод на неофициальном источнике, и он не работает. Wild эффект не работает. Это когда вот эта вот красивая трава, вот эта вся херня, все вот эти вот, не знаю, дуновение ветра, колыхание всего, вот это вот не работает. Я не очень уверена, что Dreamy Valley в принципе работает, хотя цвета вроде приятные, но это не точно. Довольно сложно оценить, потому что когда я зашла в чистый Stardew Valley, когда мне пришлось, ну как чистый, когда моды не работали, да, то там вообще цвет кор был вырвиглаз какой-то. Поэтому, ну, хер его знает, мне очень сложно судить. Главное, что работает Expanded. Сохрани, все сейвы подсосались, все нормально, все взаимоотношения остались, новые какие-то плюшки добавились прямо внутрь того, что сейчас у нас есть. Так что, в принципе, не работает исключительно какая-то, ну, красота, скажем так. Еще не работает SAT IP, но я вообще не смогла понять, почему он не работает. Он в правильной версии, правильная дата, все правильно, но я хз, блядь, вот устарел и все, блядь, и в рот шатай, не знаю, понятия не имею. Стример не смог разобраться с модами. Стример сидел до 8 утра, колупал эту гад, до 12 стример работал, а до 8 утра... Да нет, до 2 часов стример работал, а до 8 утра он колупал Stardew Valley. А потом проснулся и снова колупал Stardew Valley.
Это жестко.
Да, это жестко. Да, стример не смог разобраться с модами. Вот вам, блядь, и здрасте.
Ай, денег дай, денег дай, денег дай, денег дай. Ай,
Да, дай денег.
денег дай,
Мы же здесь только ради этого. Он не работает, потому что... Ну, блядь, я не могу описать по-другому, блядь. Здравствуйте. Видимо, на этот мы будем, да? Закидывать вам вирус. Я сегодня еще раз обновил SMAPI в игру. Какой у тебя уровень SMAPI? 4.0.0? Или уже лучше есть?
I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator.
4.01. Ну а сам SMAPI на что? Чем он? Блин, ну ладно, SMAPI я, может, и могу обновить. Сложно. Стример не любит Фоллоч, потому что плохо в него играет. Абсолютно точно. Выйди отсюда тогда.
Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy. And our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that
Иди
you are
победи.
here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here.
Но это не Шон. Но это не Шон.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean? Is that really you?
Who are you?
Sean, where is everyone?
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Sean, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
What's going on? Father? Father!
Sean, honey? What do you want me to
I
do?
don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Who is Father? Where is he?
Father? Father, help me! She's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges.
Спасибо.
Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
This is insane. All of it.
The degree of trauma you
Он же, кстати, не
experiencing
наш
right
сын.
now
Он,
is
получается,
understandable. Please.
у нашего сына был ребенок.
I know this is
И
all
вот,
difficult to
получается, это
take in.
наш внук вроде как.
I'll make this very simple. Where is my son?
He's here, in the Institute. Closer than you think. But I need you to realize that this
Нет, это не наш сын.
situation is far more complicated than you
Вот
could have
конкретно этот
imagined.
чел стоит
You have
перед нами, он
traveled
не
very
наш
far
сын.
and suffered a great deal to find
То есть там
your
уже
son.
поколение сменилось, это 100%.
Your tenacity and dedication have... It's good to finally meet you. After all this time. It's me. I am your son.
Ну, я смотрела разные разборы и разные теории. Это, ну, вот этот Шон, это уже не наш Шон. Это точно не наш Шон. Вранье.
Bullshit!
Is it? After all the things you've seen and experienced in the Commonwealth? Think about it. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the sun you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old
В Ютубе
boy.
врать не будут, ну да.
You believed
Ну
that
хорошо, а
10
попробуй
years had
объяснить, что ни
passed. Is it
один...
really so hard
Расскажи
to
мне о том,
accept
что
that it
ни
was
один
not
персонаж из серии Fallout
60
до
years.
приобретения Пип-Боя не
That
может
is the
пользоваться
reality.
Ватсом.
And
И
here
только
I
в
am,
4-й серии персонаж
raised
до
by the Institute.
надевания Пип-Боя на
now
руку
it's
может
easy.
пользоваться Ватсом. Это как?
It wasn't right, what they did. Taking you from me like that.
To you, that would certainly seem true. But to the Institute, it made all the sense in the world. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine.
Бля, Булгаков, ты
So
точно
they
дурак или
followed
как?
the
Или ты
best
прикалываешься?
example thus far. The human being, walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
Human synths? Really?
Human-like synths. A great distinction. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, Members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
60 years. So much time. Wasted.
I know. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your father. He never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to him was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems what happened to him was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So, you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
But, Director? Why you?
I was the most qualified for the position, obviously. I've lived my life within these walls, dedicated to science like every other member of the Institute. My hard work has paid off. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss, but the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
You want me to stay here, in the Institute?
Yes, that is what I propose. Is it so hard to imagine? The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
How can you say that? How can you be so dismissive of all those people? Everything they've done?
Because it is the simple truth. And I believe you know it too. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
Не могу найти в институте. Может, его после какого-то обновления перенесли? Не могу найти пупса в институте. Хотя вроде как. Или он здесь, по-моему, должен быть.
I hope you're not too overwhelmed.
I just don't know.
Just give it time. Give the Institute
Ну,
a
ничего
chance.
страшного.
The
Хотя, как
Institute
бы,
is
ну,
now your home.
нихуя
as much
себе.
as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in advanced systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Угу.
Six hours later.
Да отстаньте, господи. Да, болтал он долго. Просто проблема в том, что если мы сейчас не найдем то, что здесь должно быть, мы же сюда по факту больше особо не вернемся. Ну, наверное, вернемся с зачисткой, но, скорее всего, оно будет урезано. Это мы взяли. Ну вот я тоже говорю, что лучше сейчас искать. Это мы тоже взяли. Это что такое? Угу. Прикольно. Не знала, что там есть журнал. Больница. Медтрек. Research. Это, конечно, надо было сделать до стрима, но я забыла просто. Прикольно. Блин, вот было бы прикольно везде это найти, все это найти. А, да? Термин. За 50 жетонов можно получить... Да ладно. Кто бы знал. Это мы взяли. Это мы еще возьмем. Нифига. Господи, здесь рыбных заводов как грязи. Это мы взяли. Господи, а сколько этих? Сколько школ? Блин, сколько здесь разных локаций, это просто обалдеть. Где мы еще не побывали. Убежище мэра Бостона были. Это были.
Впрочем, это уже совсем другая история.
Но мы в штаб подземки брали? Наверное, да. Институт. На столе, на внешнем балконе, куда можно попасть из северной части атриума. Отвратительно, на самом деле, ненужный журнал. Но я так долго его искала. По-моему, в институте должно быть 2.
Сильное заявление. Проверять я его, конечно, не буду.
Ну все. Блядь, чё какой ты душный. Чё он хочет от меня? Пойди, говорит, погуляй. Красиво тут у них. Терминал легкий. Господи, я ненавижу такие выпуклые терминалы. Конрад, увеличение продолжительности жизни. Когда приходит Келлог, люди сразу начинают нервничать. Поначалу мне казалось, что их пугает его самоуверенный и кичливый тон. Или просто сама персона, его персона. Ведь Келлог, как ни крути, убийца. Но чем больше я наблюдал за их реакцией, за этими взглядами искоса, тем яснее становится, что их терзает другое чувство, о котором мне следовало бы давно догадаться. Зависть. Келлог — живой памятник забытой программе. Он технологически усовершенствованный человек, по сути, киборг. И нельзя отрицать, что его способности и время превосходят способности обычных людей, но здешние ученые на самом деле наплевать на его обостренные рефлексы и повышенную боеспособность. Нет причин их зависти куда более примитивнее. Куда как примитивнее и практичнее. Они завидуют его повышенной продолжительности жизни. Сколько протянет Келлог, если ему суждено умереть своей смертью? Пусть это и крайне маловероятно. Трудно сказать. Ему уже 100 с чем-то, то есть он определенно старше всех прочих жителей Содружества. У него полностью перестроена вся физиология. Может, он доживет и до 150 или даже до 200. Впрочем, пусть эти мелочные люди сгорают от зависти. Келлог — ходячее свидетельство технологического превосходства института. И мне приятно осознавать, что этот факт его, должно быть, безмерно раздражает. Состояние. Ожидания продолжаются. Айо может только подтвердить появление в убежище 111 и позже в Даймонд-Сити. Не могу сказать, что это означает. Мы когда-нибудь встретимся, неужели все это было напрасно? Нет, не напрасно. Я знаю много ценного о себе, о своем прошлом. Нельзя позволить эмоциям встать на пути. Буду просто наблюдать и записывать. Мне сообщили, что Келлог не выходит на связь. Что интересно, мне вспоминается доктор Уокер. Он возлагал такие надежды на Келлога, так верил в импланты и их значение для будущего. До сих пор жаль, что пришлось закрыть этот проект. Но я слишком хорошо себе представляю, чем он мог привести. Уокер никогда не скромничал в своих целях. И слишком многие начали к нему прислушиваться. В результате, как мне кажется, мое решение было оправдано. Институт обязан сохранить человечество, а не некое слияние биологии и технологий. Отключение синтов. Прикольно. Угу. А что он хочет, чтобы я с ним поговорила? То есть я не могу никуда уйти, пока я не приму решение, да? А он меня пустит? Или подожди. Просто выйти. Хорошо. Биоцентр. Эльфил.
Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans. If you ask me, they were built pretty well.
I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll
Here we go. All set.
Роботик.
It's an honor to have you here, ma'am.
Да, только где искать мне то, что мне нужно? Классно вы тут работаете.
We're all looking forward to working with you.
Здравствуйте.
It's my responsibility to make sure this place runs smoothly.
Hi, Doc.
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much. I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Facilities Division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
On board with what?
The Institute, of course. Sean implied you operated on a level, if not equal, then at least similar to the rest of us.
Curious.
If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division, I'm happy to discuss it.
Who built this place, originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it.
Reporting status. All functions normal. Greetings. As the Institute's requisition vendor, I can provide supplies.
Тут был хороший борщ с капусткой, но не красный. Так, сосисочки. Ну, еще есть какой-то
Не знаю, куда она ведет, поэтому давай куда-то наверх. А он, по-моему, журнал, да? Или нет, или мне кажется. А куда мы едем? Угу, я поняла. Я уже забыла, что мы отсюда приехали. Какой странный лифт, господа. Так, давай отсюда начнем.
Is it true food supplement 77 has been discontinued?
That is correct.
That was my favorite one. Can't we keep it a little longer?
I will be happy to forward your request to the Bioscience Division. In the meantime, please feel free to enjoy one of our other nutritious and flavorful food supplements.
I want supplement 77.
I am sorry, sir, but that supplement is no longer available.
Useless machine.
Да, место, где борщик, но не красный. Так, пепельница, хорошо. То есть можно зайти в каждую комнату почти и поискать.
Hello.
Элли? Эллис Томпсон.
Well, hello.
Hi, miss.
Dr. Orman's lecture on cold fusion was nothing short of a revelation.
Воп. Потрясающе крутая история. Псина получает на 10% меньше урона. Угу. Я помню, что когда-то в институте был пупс, но он был на каком-то карнизе располагался, что весьма странно. Место было достаточно необычное.
Welcome to the Institute, ma'am.
You call this a clean floor? Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the grime and dust?
Никогда здесь не была. Никогда не проходила за институт. А могла бы, если бы не чатик. Такие маленькие кровати. Ой, нас черт снимал. Ой. Опять ты обожрался. Так. Ладно, давай сделаем по-другому. Ой. Угу. Чё? Ага. Прикольно. Так, с карнизом я перепутала. Это не здесь. Ага. Может, в институте и нету? Угу. Думаю, тоже взяли. Ни хрена себе. А, все, в институте нету пупса. Окей. Тогда ладно. Мы взяли журнал. Хер знает, есть ли здесь еще. Возможно, есть. Скорее всего. Ну ладно. Так, нам нужно еще найти этого. Разыскать ученого. Прикольно, вода под этим. То есть, по идее, мы можем быстренько все закончить, потому что мы вставляем сюда вирус. И все, да?
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Здравствуйте. Нам надо поговорить. Запись отдела высших систем.
This is day 8 of trial 6. The last week has been very productive but exhausting. I think we'll need a break after this. Vinay has done some really marvelous work with the personality mesh. It's almost too good. The responses map almost identically to expectations, some of the most lifelike I've seen. Of course, it's not really Sean. None of his memories are in there. That, even now, would be a step too far. It's starting to have an effect on the team, I think. I know I've been caught up in the moment once or twice. Just a second or two, forgetting that he's not a real boy. Still, I think we'll need to consider restricting him to the lab only for the moment. I'm well aware that others are put off by his presence. If I were slightly more arrogant, I might consider that a sign of success.
Doctor.
Oh, it's you. You're not authorized to be here.
Actually, I was looking for you.
Me? Why?
I've been sent by the Brotherhood of Steel to find you.
You don't beat around the bush, I'll give you that. I knew it was just a matter of time before your people would track me down. I've been looking over my shoulder for almost a decade, waiting for them to send someone like you to kill me.
I'm only here with good intentions. You have my word.
You're giving me your word, even though we just met? Fine. Since Father trusts you, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I might not agree with everything he says, but I know he'd never allow harm to come my way. Say what you came here to say, and then leave me alone.
Are you happy here?
You'd think being surrounded by cutting-edge laboratory equipment and some of the greatest minds the world's ever known would be enough. Only problem is the lack of transparency. I don't think we get the full story on everything that occurs down here. What does that have to do with why we're talking?
The Brotherhood needs your help, Doctor.
Needs my help? Why? They seemed to have everything under control when I left.
The Brotherhood valued your presence, and we'd like you to come back.
Well, how sweet of them. Tell me something. Why would I possibly want to come crawling back to the Brotherhood? What reason would I have to throw away everything I've accomplished here?
Father trusts me, and so should you.
He trusts you because you're family. I'm not. I can't just take your word for it. I need more than that.
The Brotherhood has always been straight with you.
I am getting a bit tired of all the secrets around here. Sometimes I feel like Father isn't being straight with me. Like there are things I'm not supposed to know about. I don't like that. But still, how can I turn my back on all of this?
Your work could be instrumental in freeing the Commonwealth.
You really know how to push my buttons, don't you? You know, I never understood why the Institute was so damn selfish. All those innocent people up there, dying. And here I am surrounded by technology that could make their lives better. Yet we hide down here and insulate ourselves from everything and everyone. It's not right. It's not right. I'll make my way back to the Brotherhood. But I'm going to have to do it on my own. I can't take any chances being seen with you. Tell whoever sent you that they've just regained the services of Dr. Madison Lee. Now, for the sake of keeping up appearances, Let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
Уберите.
Thank you. I'm sure that'll come in handy.
Given that the relay is the only way to access the Institute, handy is something of an understatement. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Speaking of, I trust our discussion will remain between the two of us. Now, I need to get back to work, and I'm sure you have other things to do.
Так, отлично. До свидания. Еще увидимся. Да, блин, что у вас за тупые двери? Так. Встретиться с руководителями отделов.
No visible reaction to the K-14 compound. You know the protocol, sir. The authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in
Scanning
the
Seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to
Everyone's excited about the new synth project.
Glad you made it.
Да пропусти ты, господи.
Maybe I should take some courses with me. Send a message.
Please don't. There's enough friction as it is between us and pretty much all the other departments.
You going soft on me, Alana? My methods get results, and they will this time as well. You'll see.
Like any machine, a synth can
Hey, Doc.
malfunction.
So,
Just wish it didn't happen so
here
often.
you are. Justin Ayo, Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider. The first outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time, in fact. There's little precedent for this situation, so it's only natural to take extra precautions. It's nothing personal, I assure you. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
So basically, you're the secret police.
Secret police? If that's a pre-war reference, then I'm afraid it's lost on me. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
Why does it matter?
If there is some defect in Courser combat programming, then it must be identified and corrected. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
If you're the acting head of the SRB, who are you filling in for?
Dr. Zimmer holds that position. He's supervising the retrieval of some of the more high-profile units. In his absence, I keep things running smoothly.
Scanning. Subject identified.
Красиво.
You can return to your duties and remember to.
Как мне нравится эта штука, Господи Иисусе.
I hope I'll prove a useful test subject for you, Doctor.
You had time to examine my latest reports on Batch 274.
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations at Warwick. He's eager to get that going, so I've had to put everything else to one side.
I wonder how the Warwick family is doing.
Bonjour, madame.
Wally must be close to 10 years old by now. It's remarkable that any child can survive for so long up there, don't you think?
I try not to think too much about it. We have more than enough to occupy ourselves here. And those people are the last remnants of a dying past. It's best not to dwell on the subject.
They're still people, and they're suffering. We can at least admit that it's regrettable. After all, how can we hope to redefine mankind if we can't even hold on to our own humanity?
Well, that's a question best left to our colleagues in the robotics division.
Yes, well... I suppose you're right.
It's great to have you here.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Welcome. So good to have you here. Dr. Clayton Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
Like what?
I was just about to explain that. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of studies such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
The gorillas are synths too?
They are indeed. Judging by your reaction, we've done a good job making them seem lifelike. The initiative is still in its early stages, but the prospects are very exciting. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is, but I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
Прикольно на самом деле, если бы они смогли, ну как они, в смысле, кто-то, да,
I'm not sure. Right now I'm just
мог
trying to keep an open
синтезировать
mind.
определенных животных в виде синтов, то бишь, чтобы в зоопарках не было животных, но при этом, допустим, самка и самец, допустим, тех же горилл, были предоставлены в зоопарках. То есть, вот это я еще могу понять. Воспользоваться голографической записью с вирусом.
I'm good for now. Thanks.
Take care then.
А что, можно где-то посмотреть на горилл? Нет? Или их еще нет? Господи, сколько дверей. Угу.
That's it.
Я уверена, что где-то можно посмотреть на гориллу. Ну ладно. Нет, так нет. Не столь страшно. Так, теперь. Воспользоваться голографической записью с вирусом. Воспользоваться голографической записью с вирусом терминала института. Ага. Теперь на лифте наверх. Ну и, видимо, к тому компьютеру, который...
We don't usually welcome outsiders. I hope you can appreciate your good fortune.
Ага. Так, давай-ка мы вот здесь сделаем сейф. Открыть журнал доступа. Выполнение параметров задания. Загрузить голозапись. Вирус. Угу. Отдать Инграм. Угу. А надо извлекать вирус? Поговорить с отцом. Так. Ошибка. И все. Угу. Теперь вы можете быстро перемещаться из института и из него. А в смысле поговорить с отцом? А зачем? Задержание. Ну, да похер, наверное, нет? Странно, что на этапе внедрения вируса мы уже не стали врагами. А! Это было больно. Ага, она там. Обо мне уже никто и не помнит, да? Что, забыли обо мне, да?
Here's your holotape, Proctor. Hope the data on that thing was worth it.
Thanks. You know, it's good to see you're still in one piece. I wasn't sure what the interceptor would do to you.
You mean being zapped into energy and then put back together again? Piece of cake.
You can make jokes all you want, but I wouldn't put so much faith in technology I didn't understand. Speaking of technology I don't understand, I'll get this holotape to Proctor Quinlan. I'm dying to find out what's on it.
What do you hope to find on there?
Whatever the Institute doesn't want anybody to know. Before we jump to conclusions, let's see what Quinlan's scribes can get off of it. I'm sure the Institute has all of their data heavily encrypted, so it's gonna take some time to crack. After that, we'll have to see what we've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe. In the meantime, your mission to recruit Dr. Lee still needs to be completed. I believe Elder Maxon gave you all of the details. Good luck.
Она уже должна была прийти. Нет доступа. Вашу же техническую рекомендацию возьму и продам вам. Так, а еще нужно вот это сделать.
You know those synths with the plat...
I received word that Dr. Lee is returning to us. How cooperative do you think she'll be?
Will she be harmed if she doesn't cooperate?
Absolutely not. We have big plans for Dr. Lee, including the resurrection of one of her greatest creations. The last thing we'd want to do is kill the Golden Goose. As soon as Dr. Lee arrives, we'll interrogate her aboard the Pridwin. She's been under the Institute's influence for the last decade, and we can't afford to take any chances. Now, on to other matters. Thanks to the success of your reconnaissance efforts, it's time to advance our operations to the next phase. I want you to report to Proctor Ingram at the airport. She has a special project that requires your immediate attention. Once again, Knight, you don't fail to impress. Dismissed.
We have intelligence on the Institute. We can use it against them to gain the upper hand.
Прайм обретенный. Поговорить с Ингром. Давай.
So, I bet you're eager to get your hands dirty on our new project. How much has Maxon told you about it?
Why all the secrecy?
We're pouring every resource we have into this thing. We can't risk tipping off the Institute. For now, the fewer people that know about it, the better. Come on, it's this way. Unless you're blind as a bat, I'm sure you've noticed that we've been building a gantry on the tarmac. Maxon and Kells have been looking for something that'll tip the balance when we go toe-to-toe with the Institute. Now, the Pridwin might be a big beast, but she's not built for fighting. That's where our new project comes in. This storage bay
Слушай, так она ж калека. Ебаться, улыбаться.
Liberty Prime. The Brotherhood used it in the Capital Wasteland as a weapon against the Enclave. It's the most advanced robot the Brotherhood has ever
Так,
had
руки
at
у
its
нее есть, у
disposal.
нее ног нет.
Unfortunately,
Она в этой
Liberty
штуке,
Prime
потому
was
что у нее ног
destroyed
нет,
in the
лол.
line of duty. I've spent the better part of the last few years piecing him back together. And if you think that was easy, try rebuilding a Protectron while you're blindfolded. In order to get Liberty Prime fully operational, we're going to need your help.
No problem. I'm sure this only looks worse than it actually is.
I wish I had your confidence, because this is not going to be easy. Now, the good news is that we've got most of Prime's parts fully assembled. The bad news is that it's going to take more than a few rivets and some spot welding to get them working again. The first problem is his CPU. It's fragile, and every time we try to feed power to it, it blows itself out.
Why is the power blowing out his CPU?
Liberty Prime has a highly complex power system. A good deal of that system was damaged when he exploded. So I'm working in the dark, trying to come up with parts on my own. Luckily, you were able to convince Dr. Madison Lee to return to the Brotherhood. She was on the original build team for Liberty Prime a little over a decade ago. I've already spoken to her, but she's reluctant to work on Prime for some reason. If you could get her down here to lend a hand with his power system, we can get the big guy moving.
Какая большая голова, да? Прикольно. Чё? Господи.
Got a long list of fixes to get you out of here.
Она, наверное, вместе с ученым теперь тусуется, нет?
Attention, this is a reminder. Any recovered historical, technological, or social documentation should be delivered directly to Proctor.
Never expected Dr. Lee would return
That
to
is
the
all.
Brotherhood. But you're not here to discuss history, are you? Are there documents you wanted to turn in? Or were you here to help with a research patrol?
I found some technical...
These will... Here are the caps that I promised. Remember, the common... Check every...
If you're here to talk me into working on Liberty Prime, you can forget it.
What changed your mind?
Nothing changed my mind. I promised you I'd return to the Brotherhood, and I've kept my end of the bargain.
Do I need to remind you why you made that promise in the first place?
No, that won't be necessary. Tell Proctor Ingram to get her scribes ready. It's going to take a hell of a lot of work to get Liberty Prime back online, but we'll get it done.
Да блин.
If you run into any synths, shoot to kill. We don't take prisoners.
Иди туда, сходи сюда.
Commonwealth's a dangerous place. Make sure you gear up before you head out.
There's no time to waste when there's work to be done.
Maxim might appear compassionate, but I can assure you, the Institute will face his wrath. I can't wait to see Liberty
Прикольно.
Prime in action again.
You think the Commonwealth looks bad?
Ingram?
You should see
Wow,
the Capitol
things
waste.
are off to a good start. Isn't that right, Doctor?
I hope so. Prime suffered some significant damage to his memory core. I wish your people would have been a bit more careful, Proctor. The good news is that the damage isn't irreversible, and I should be able to get the power flowing into his CPU core without overloading. If your people stay out of my way, that is.
Charming, isn't she? Did we make a mistake asking her to help?
Nah, don't worry about it. We might not be best buddies, but we'll get the job done. Besides, Dr. Lee's worth all the aggravation. We're working with one of Prime's original designers. I don't see it getting any better than that. In fact, since things are going so well, we're gonna have you start building his electromagnetic actuators.
What do the actuators do?
Pretty simple, really. The actuators are what allows Liberty Prime's arms and legs to move. Prime's new limbs are way too heavy for the simple hydraulic pistons he had in the past. We're gonna have to rip those out, construct a brand new system using electromagnets, and install them in his limbs. What we need you to do is build the actuators for us.
Now that you know what the actuators are, you need to know how to make them. These are the plans and the materials list. Don't lose them.
Now, before you get that look on your face, you'll be happy to know that we have plenty of the raw materials on that list right here at the airport. The only thing we need you to head out and find is a high-powered magnet. According to Proctor Quinlan, the best place to find one is in any of the ruined hospitals around the Commonwealth. We've already sent out a few teams to find the rest of the high-powered magnets you'll need. They should be back by the time you return.
Once you start building the actuators, we need one for each limb, so you'll need to make a total of 4. Good luck.
Найти мощный магнит. Угу. Медфордская больница. Так. Ну, возможно. Здесь мы уже брали журнал, но это не точно. Вроде как это место, которое на картинке я видела. Да мы сюда и за сенсором ходили, по-моему. Ну, журнал был либо здесь, либо повыше. What that noise? Mm-hmm. Я шепну тебе на ушко.
Аннигиляторная пушка!
Хорош. Бентли. Мне нравится. А, и все. Все, что нужно. Построить электромагнитные приводы. 4 штуки. Ой.
Давай, вошли и вышли. Приключение на 20 минут. 6 дней спустя. Блять!
Надо пересмотреть.
If
dumb and ugly had a child, it'd be a super mutant.
А, типа здесь нельзя? Можно только там? Их надо просто построить вообще. Им вообще плевать, где они будут стоять, да? Ну ладно. И я шепну тебе на ушко. Аннигиляторная пушка.
Proctor Ingram?
That's all 4 actuators. Delivered and done. Nice work.
Right on schedule. I've completed the restoration of Prime's basic functions, and he's ready to go. In fact, it's getting difficult to explain to the system why it can't move right now.
Well, as soon as my scribes get those actuators in place, we'll have his arms and legs installed in no time. Which brings me to your next assignment. It won't be long before Prime can walk and talk, but he's missing one last important element. His nukes. Without them, his offensive systems aren't operating at peak capacity.
What's Prime armed with?
Prime has 2 weapon systems, his eye laser and his nuke pack. The eye laser can target a hostile from hundreds of yards out and take it down with pinpoint accuracy. His nukes are modified Mark 28 nuclear bombs. They used to drop the things from bombers during the war. Just one of the nukes is equivalent to about 3 or 4 Fat Man shells. Basically, whatever it hits isn't getting up again. His eye laser is almost ready to go, but without nukes to load into his pack, he's fighting at less than half his capability.
Shouldn't be a problem. Just tell me where they are.
I wish I could. Prime's bomb pack is fitted for Mark 28 nuclear bombs. The same type of bombs that were dropped from aircraft during the Great War. The Commonwealth was a major staging area for the military's air force, so we assumed we wouldn't have trouble finding them. But since we arrived, our scouting teams haven't located a single bomb.
That's going to be a problem. Without a fully loaded nuke pack, Prime won't have the firepower to take on the Institute.
Can I build the nukes like I built the actuators?
I could build you 1,000 nuke casings, right now. But we've got nothing to put inside them. The Mark 28s have a specialized nuclear payload that requires the correct balance of fissile materials in order for them to detonate properly. In other words, I'd love to mix you a cocktail, but I'm all out of liquor. But before you give up hope, there's actually a silver lining here. Proctor Quinlan has located some records regarding a military installation, which was used as a nuclear weapons storage facility. We're fairly certain this included a stockpile of the Mark 28s. The catch is that the installation is located somewhere within the glowing sea.
I'll head out there immediately.
Good, because that's exactly what we're asking you to do. Scribe Halen's established a
Так мы
communications
ж там были.
point on
Там
the
же вроде
frontier of
ничего
the
нет
glowing
такого.
sea. I suggest you head out there first and establish a signal protocol with her so that the nukes can be airlifted out once you've located them. Hopefully, by the time you've returned, we'll be ready to wake Prime up and you can say hello. Good luck, Knight.
Где эта барышня? А где она? Она вообще не здесь. Оки-доки. Контрольная точка эхо. Я думала, она где-то здесь. Господи. А что так долго ты доставала? Не вижу. Где? Ля как спрятался. Наш пролетели. Ой-ой-ой. Напугала. Да ёп, твою мать. Меня как-нибудь можно не облочить? Спасибо. Пейн. Ой, чуть своих не начала шмалять.
Yes.
А, подожди, это был наш? Я что-то расстроилась на том моменте, что это был наш. Что даже что-то за полоску хп не посмотрела. По идее, мне сюда не надо. Только если за патронами. Это ничего не было, вот.
Ля ты крыса, а!
Что-то реально не поняла, в кого шмальнула. Услышала какой-то хрип и такая, думаю, блядь, ладно. Даже не заметила. Я думала, впереди враг, а он оказался сзади. А там туда сейчас наши пролетят. Сами разберутся. Минус винтокрыл. А, или нет, это камикадзе, наверное, взорвался. Скорее всего, да, камикадзе. Что здесь происходит? Удаленный терминал Братства Стали. Что он делает? Управление турелями. Понятно. Привет. Да, серьезно? Они далеко. Они далеко. То есть пока мы с ними не разберемся. Да. Интересно, там чувака, который за пушкой сидит, не тошнит? Кайф. Вот теперь я это увидела. Мне понравилось. Мне понравилось. Более глупой смерти винтокрыла я еще не видела. Ну, уже... Ну что, надо идти их убивать. Нет, ну это было классно. Такое надо было клипать. Просто 2 винтокрыла. Прихватку сожрал. Ну все, ты успокоилась? Нет. Ну, ты идешь туда или что? Ну надо же. Блять. Может быть, вы вложите деньги в обучение пилотов, нет? А то как-то, ну такое. Ой.
What is it? I'll wear your guts around my neck!
I think we have company.
Ой, бля. Ебать. Капец. Блин, локация другая, а это все вокруг. Это тоже сейчас? Ну все. Вы успокоились здесь все? Вроде да. Хорошо. Ну, минус 2 винтокрыла за 10 минут. Это, конечно, да. Братство молодец.
Scribe.
It's good to see you again, Knight. You've come a long way since you stumbled in the Cambridge police station.
How have things been over there?
Pretty well, actually. We've had the occasional synth attack, but so far we've been able to keep them from overrunning us. Thanks to the reinforcements and the air support, I'd say that site was secure.
Особенно с воздуха.
What about those feral ghouls? Are they still a problem?
With a vertibird at our disposal, Not a chance. Anyway, I know you don't have time for small talk, so I'll get right to it. I've had the men set up the equipment we'll need to pinpoint you once you found the bombs. We've rigged up this distress pulsar to emit a unique tone that we'll be listening for. When you find the bombs, plant the pulsar, and we'll handle the rest. After that, you should probably head back to Proctor Ingram and bring her your
Аварийный пульсатор.
report.
Doesn't sound too difficult.
Ah, no. Not at all. You're only heading back into the most inhospitable place in the entire Commonwealth. Look, I know you've been through the glowing sea before, but remember to keep an eye on your Geiger counter. If you don't, the radiation will cook you from the inside out. Good luck, Knight.
Найти хранилище бомб. И где же оно? Да, тут мы не были. Это факт. Это факт. Я просто думала, что вот в одной из этих частей, значит, там есть еще куда сходить. Ладно, хорошо. Ну, будет тогда уж это ладно в следующей серии. Ой, господи. Все. Не знаю, увидимся сегодня еще или нет, но если что, до завтра. Пока, ребят.